How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid. Of course, I want to make sure you guys are prepared for this coming week. It ended up closing at $27.55. We did see it tested $26.21 on the low. So many are saying, hey, what are your thoughts going into Monday? So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $27.55, being up 2.23%. On the low, it tested $26.21, and then on the high, testing $27.85. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 20.395 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 42.492 million shares. So what you could see right away, we did have below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength inside of the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 33.16. So yes, it is fairly oversold. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day, the 100-day, the 21-day EMA, and as well as the 200-day. And like I talk about many times on this channel, when we are trading below the 200-day, that means that the stock is in a bear market, and that's what we see going on with Lucid. So going into Monday, if it's looking bullish and it's looking strong, you're going to want to look forward to seeing a test right here to the 200-day around $29.14. On the Friday, ended up seeing a high of $27.85. So this is why I feel it is very doable for Lucid to test back into the $20 range if tech is strong. And upon doing that, you're going to want to see that price action stay above that 200-day and then it making that move to the upside, reaching those key levels that we've spoken about, 32.50, and as well as the 21-day EMA around $33.79. But the one thing that you want to pay attention to, if we end up having a pullback or there's weakness, then of course we can go back to testing the support, seeing if we can hold up this $26 level. If we can't hold up 26, then of course this is where I'm going to see how well we perform around 25. And this is where I was saying again in previous videos, we can start testing right here at the $24 level. They do have earnings that is coming up on February the 21st. So that's what the estimation is. So let's see how Lucid performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for February the 4th, we have Arizona State Retirement System that purchased 110,828 shares. And then we also have Toronto Dominion Bank that purchased 84,712 shares. When we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 59.04%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 5.93 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 85,000, updated 11 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 10.88%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 3rd, it was at 60.68, and then for the close of the 4th, so the Friday that just passed, being at 59.04. So one thing that is clear to see, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential and why we will see volatility continue in this stock. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see here on the inflows at 88.62 and then on the outflows at 122. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 1.28. On the medium, it was 34.27. And then on the small, it was 53.07. Taking a look at the outflow side, we could see on the large, it was 14.83. And then on the medium, it was 45.16. And then on the small, it was 61.52. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for February the 4th, for the Friday that just passed, it being that outflow of negative 13.55 million. And out of the past 5 trading days, 4 of those days have been outflow days. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. When we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, it represents whales, institutions, our funds, we had a lot more selling than we had buying. It was 14.83 million versus 1.28 million. Very significant there. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 1.24%. So this is not too bad for a stock like Lucid. There are many who are still continuing to hold on to their positions. But we also do know this has been a volatile stock for quite some time. So again, this contributes overall to what you're seeing in regards to the price action. And this is why I say you want to pay attention to the overall market conditions, especially for the tech sector. So now let's move on to the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, in regards to the price action, here are the levels you want to look out for. On the Friday, we ended up testing at $26.21. If we break through that $26 level, this is where we can start seeing the low 25s and possibly going into the 24s. So that's one thing that you want to keep in mind. Secondly, if you're looking for a bullish move, we close at $27.55. So most preferably, you'd want to see Lucid making that move to around $29.14. And I know what you're saying. Why so exact? Why so precise? This puts us right where the 200-day moving average is. And if we have price action above the 200-day, then things look a lot more bullish. If it is below the 200-day, that's when things look bearish. So again, add that to your homework and as well as your due diligence and pay attention to the overall market conditions and how the tech sector is actually performing inside of the pre-market. And if you see the 10-year is spiking, that makes buying tech stocks more expensive. So again, you want to pay attention to all of these variables. If you want to get a head start on this and be aware of all of this before the market opens so you have a higher likelihood of making money on the play, then join us inside of the Discord. We go over it on a daily basis. It is something that is very important. It's one of our rituals. So again, if you're not in the Discord, get into the Discord right now so you know market direction. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. There's a lot of shorts who are vested in this play. So this is why when you get that buying pressure coming into the stock, we could see those moves to the upside. And also another thing that is very clear, we see institutions are continuing to load up on shares as well. So a lot of long-term investors in Lucid would be happy to hear this, but I'm going to continue to stay patient. I'm not going to be buying any shares whatsoever at these current levels. I'm waiting for that pullback. And also we can't forget they do have earnings that's supposed to be coming out on February the 21st. If that ever changes, I'll make sure to keep you guys inside the loop, but I just see some more volatility. Plus on top of that, the way how the Fed has been acting, say, well, you know what, we're going to make our adjustments in regards to interest rates when we start seeing what the data looks like. And we know we're going to be having some inflation data that's going to be coming for this week. So again, keep your ears to the street. Know what's happening in the market. And if you have any questions, you can drop them down inside of the comment section. So let's see how Lucid performs. I'll be talking to you guys soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk.